Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Superbike 22. In this video I'm going to be showing you how to tackle Aragon the best way you can. With the controller overlay on the right hand side should give you an indication of how much acceleration we're using, how much brake, when to upshift, and even when to downshift and apply the rear brake. So I'm going to start this series and do all 12 tracks, but starting off with round 1 here in Aragon seems to be the smart decision. So into turn 5 then we'll go for the left hand side, going to be hanging it in there for the left hander and then slowly bringing on the power. A few things I want you to mention here in Aragon. Using the Ducati or any other bikes, I'm not really pulling fully back on the acceleration, so you can see the right trigger. I'm not just smashing the right trigger all the time, I'm actually bringing on the power quite gradually and quite gently. It's important to do that when you're in a low traction control, otherwise you'll start to slip and skid with the rear tyre, so just gentle with the right trigger right now. So a quick update for you as well regarding controls, if you're not aware of how my setup is. The right trigger is accelerate, left trigger is to brake, R1 is to downshift, L1 is to the clutch, square is the rear brake, triangle to upshift, and the left analog stick controls the movement, and that's pretty much all that you need to know. So in the braking guide video I did discuss that I push backwards on the left analog stick, so I would advise you to pay attention to when I use that and how much I push back on depending on the corner. So as we now charge down the back straight, prepare yourself for a very little white line here on the right hand side of the track there. The second white line you see, begin to start braking, give it some brake, and you can even trail brake into 16 for quite a while if you're struggling to getting the entry right. So coming on the power, gently on the acceleration, just gradually moving the left analog stick in the direction where we need to be, and now braking quite firm just at the shadow above the underneath the Aragon sign there, just above on the track there. So now to the right hand side for turn 2. You can use a little bit of front brake there if you just want to close the gap ever so slightly, and the same can be said for here. Just bring it in nice and tight in 3rd gear, upshifting up to 4th, up into 5th, and then quickly downshift and gradually brake there. Look at the left trigger, not really a full brake, just enough to slow the motorcycle down, but if you go full brake you'll lock the wheel and you'll drop the front, so be very, very careful. So full brake there and just gradually releasing as we begin to trail brake into the right hand side. Quick upshift into 4th gear, then start getting on the brakes just before that rumble strip materialises to the left hand side there. There's a section of track where the rumble strip just ends and then starts again. Start braking there just where the green paint is, and you should be able to tackle the corkscrew without too much issue. Now I'm going to gradually bring on the power here for the Marquez corner. Cannot be bringing it on aggressively there because you will just skid and slide, so be very, very careful. Braking just at the 150 metre marker, maybe a little bit earlier, gradually braking into turn 12, and now bring it in to the right hand side for 13. Gradually bringing on the power there. You can see how many times I'm going to be saying gradually, smooth, gentle. These are the key words I want you to remember, because when you're playing with that controller, you've got to be relaxed, you've got to be calm, nice and gentle, and take it easy in a track like Aragon. If you tense and you start pushing in too hard, you're going to make too many mistakes here in Aragon, and it's going to be an absolute nightmare. And to be honest with you, that kind of applies for any track really. So braking into 16, trail braking into the furthest part of the corner there, so get that swooping line to go into 17, lift the motorcycle up where the analog stick is pointing, nice and gentle, and across the line it's another improvement. So back into the pits, I wanted to quickly change the tyres. We've got the SC1 and SCX tyre, much better now compared to what we were using. But I would experiment with the tyres. I was using one of the development option tyres, which felt okay, but sometimes the SC1 and SCX is just a better combination. But I highly recommend you do try as many tyres as you possibly can. And if you want to know more about tyres, stay tuned. I've got a guide coming very, very soon to explain all of the tyres and what they do and how they'll affect your race in qualifying sessions. So braking into the right-hander of turn 7 once again. A little bit too tight to the apex here, made a bit of a mistake braking in a bit too abruptly and a bit too early, but there we go, just the end of that first rumble strip, and braking in nice and tight, keep it in, and then gradually throw it to the left hand side, using a little bit of brake there as well, just a small amount to help close the understeer and to get that bite into the left hand side there. Now if you do go too firm on the brakes there, the brakes will lock and there'll be no chance of you turning in, you'll just end up finding yourself crashing, so be very careful. Braking in the 150 metre marker once again, using a lot of front brake and quite a lot of rear brake. I do use a lot of rear brake, I'm quite rear brake heavy in this game, and majority of the MotoGP ones as well. We're braking nice and early now for 14. You can go a little bit deeper there, but you can also bring it in nice and tight so you can get the apex for turn 15. And once you get into turn 15, you can bring on the power. 3rd gear, 4th gear, 5th gear, up into 6th gear, giving it everything you've got with power setting 3 enabled. Keep an eye to the right hand side, there's the first, there's the second little white strip on the track there. That's when you could start braking. I use that as a guide every single time now to help myself get into turn 16. It's a corner I've begun to struggle with, so I found that using that white line does help a significant amount. So across the line, our fastest lap of the race, but it's the session, should I say. And now we go firm on the brakes. So using that shadow once again, quite a lot of front brake, trail braking pretty much to the end, and a lot of rear braking included. Upshift up to 4th here and drop it down to 3rd, just to keep it back into the right hand side if a Carlos Checker corner. And just find that as a bit of a better exit rather than having 4th gear. So now I'm braking into the left hand side for turn 5, a little bit deep this time around and too abrupt on the acceleration there. You've seen the rear tyre just snake ever so slightly. That's because I applied too much acceleration in such a short amount of time. So nice and tight to the apex, turn 7 again, upshifting all the way up to 4th, braking just after that rumble strip. You can see how that is becoming the norm now as you see more and more laps progress. We're now bringing on the power. Keep the hell away from that rumble strip on the right hand side there as well, guys and gals. If you do run it in too deep and touch that rumble strip, it's good night Vienna. And same can be said for this one. Right on cue, touching the right rumble strip just sends you into just a mess, and then you end up invalidating the lap. So just be very, very careful with the curbs and rumble strips here in Aragon. So now to the right hand side for 13. Going to be paying attention to 14 here, braking well before that little bit of a side path there. I don't know what you call that little runoff bit where people can enter and exit the track, but there you need to be braking nice and early for the right-hander of 14. If you get that one too late, as I mentioned on the previous lap, you will go too deep for the next corner and find it very difficult to then turn in. So you won't just lose a bit of time there, you'll lose an even more amount of time when you get to the straight. And of course the straight being very, very important because you can lose a lot of time if you don't get the right speed. So coming out of 17 then, holding on that smooth acceleration. And this time around we're going to be focusing on the brakes for turn 1, the Pirelli side. There it is, start braking nice and early, braking quite firm on the front brake, nice and gentle with the rear brake as well. Start bringing on some acceleration to the right hand side for turn 2, keep it in nice and tight. Gradually move the bike up straight, downshift into 3rd and keep it to the right hand side, nice and tight for the Carlos Checker corner there. As we now go to the left-hander once again for 4, lift the bike up ever so slightly, still pushing backwards on the analog stick all the time. Quick upshift into 2nd and then into 3rd for the right hand side, 4th as well, and then start bringing on the brakes nice and early here, but gradually to the right hand side for 7. You see the difference compared to the previous lap. By going to that tighter, really tight apex line, you lose a lot of time, but when you go for the sweeping round the outside line that brings you on towards the rumble strip, you do save yourself quite a bit of time. So we're now ahead of the Ghost as we go into the Marquez corner. Just going to the left hand side here, just seeing that I brought on a little bit of brake just to reduce the sort of understeer that we were getting. You can do that, but you will lose a bit of time. Would try both if I was you, as we now brake into the 150 metre marker of turn 12. Get the change of direction now for the right hand side for 13, up by a few tenths. And now it's very important to brake well before that little pathway to the right, to the left hand side there. Now into the right. I have run it in deep. As we now get the change direction for 15, you will see I lost a little bit of time there, and that losing that little bit of time can be detrimental for our chances, but we are still up by under a 0.2 of a second, braking at the 2nd white line there towards the end, braking in, still trail braking in as you can see with the left hand side. Keep it in as much as you can, keep it pushed to the left hand side, and slowly bring on the power. And as you're bringing on the power, just slowly lift the analog stick up to its neutral position, and there you go, across the line to 146.859. So guys, that's going to be it from me. I do hope this video has helped you. If it has, let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know what track you want to see next. I will be doing them in order, but still very keen to see which tracks you're looking forward to and see which tracks you need some advice on. So yeah, thanks for watching guys, really hope you enjoyed. Like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.